We have a bunch of little interesting things to talk about, so let's get into it. Welcome back to another video, guys. If you enjoy daily content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So since the release of Halo Infinite, we have known that this is a games as a service game, with the multiplayer being free to play. It's how you really keep it alive. But we haven't heard too much information about what is to come in terms of the narrative style and the narrative things in the future, specifically for the single player campaign. Well, there is this job posting that has been up on Microsoft's job board since January 7th, looking for a writing director to work on Halo Infinite. And within the actual responsibilities of this job post, there are some interesting things that give us a bit more insight on what we can expect. So firstly, what they will need to do is they will need to collaborate with Halo Infinite's head of creative, as well as other leads, to create highly innovative and engaging serial narrative content for Halo Infinite's free to play. And that, I'm assuming they're focusing on, for this responsibility, the multiplayer side of things. If you guys remember, there was this trailer, this video here for Halo Infinite's multiplayer, and giving us kind of like a new story or a different story aside from the main campaign that was going to be intertwined with the multiplayer. So I'm guessing they're going to be adding on some more narrative elements to this. If you do like the tutorial within Halo Infinite, you kind of get some of the narrative side of things, but I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, that there has been really a deep dive into the multiplayer narrative within the game. So I'm assuming they're going to want to expand on some characters and just give us more information as to what is going on here. Then we go back to the job posting. They're also going to have to write everything from cinematic scripts to character sheets for casting to reactive AI dialogue and more, provide precise and thoughtful feedback and editorial of other writers. So more dialogue for enemies. Maybe this means new enemies. They're going to have to create brand new scripts for these new enemies. Moving on, they're also going to have to work closely with the Halo franchise team to ensure seasonal story content, both leveraging existing Halo lore and adding exciting new chapters to the larger Halo story. So that's great to see, because we have no idea what's coming in the future for the single player campaign, what narrative elements they are going to add. We don't even know what they're going to be adding in terms of the content. Like, are they going to be expanding the map? Are they going to be adding more weapons, characters, vehicles, all that type of stuff? And in terms of the map itself, I really do hope they do expand it, add more biomes, because that's definitely something that I think they wanted to put in the game initially, but they had to cut some stuff so that they didn't have to delay the game again. I actually have the official Halo Infinite art book, and you can see within their initial drawings, and even I think drawings that have progressed further on closer to the game's release, they had different biomes within the drawings. They had different characters and animals and stuff that were within these drawings, and I would love to see them add that stuff that they potentially had to cut before the official game came out into the game, and have it all polished and ready to go. So that's pretty much it in terms of the information we can pull from this job posting to give us more insight of what to expect on the content side of things. And I'm hoping they give us some sort of breakdown soon, a roadmap, a video telling us that yes, more single player content is going to be coming, and it's going to be an expansion on the map. It's going to be an expansion on the characters. It's going to be a brand new side story that you didn't get to go into within the single player campaign. I hope they do that soon, because I'm excited for co-op. I'm excited for Forge and all that type of stuff, but I want more single player content for the main campaign. All right, sticking on the human resource side of things, I guess you could say, and that is with a new hire from the Initiative. Now, this one I think is interesting because it's definitely skills that are going to be transferable into Perfect Dark, which is the main game that the Initiative is working on. And they have hired Alex Leonard, who was a former gameplay engineer at Treyarch and going to be the senior gameplay engineer now with the Initiative, which it makes sense if you think about the Initiative. You think about Perfect Dark in the terms that it's going to be a first-person shooter, we can assume. Treyarch, which I mean is going to be a part of Xbox Game Studios anyways once the Activision Blizzard deal is official, but they make Call of Duty games, and they have a really fine-tuned first-person shooting mechanics. Whether you like Call of Duty or not, I don't think that is something you can really deny. very polished and just fun to play. It feels very good playing a Call of Duty game. So bringing over those skills to Perfect Dark, I think, will help a lot. Now, there's also been a lot of change up within the initiative, with Drew Murray leaving about a year ago, February, and who knows what's going on with that game. We don't have any more information about it. They showed it off, they announced it, and we don't know when it's coming out. We don't have any more story elements from it. We just know it's going to be a pretty much remake, kind of a reimagining of the series. And I'm hoping that they show something off at E3 this year, because if they don't show anything off at E3 or even talk about it, then you may have to thinking what is going on with this game. Has some of these changes within the initiative caused development issues with it? So we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure it's going along fine, just really hoping that they give us more information in the next couple of months. All right, jumping over here to some Xbox Wire news, and I was surprised that this wasn't already available, but it looks like Xbox Wire has officially expanded into Japan. Now, Xbox Wire is the main news website for Xbox News, where all the official announcements come out. If there's a huge announcement, such as like the Bethesda deal or the Activision Blizzard deal, or the Game Pass games, all that kind of stuff, it shows up on Xbox Wire first, and then it gets distributed out on multiple different media sites and through Twitter and all that type of stuff. But they have launched Xbox Wire Japan, and they're doing this because they're celebrating 20 years since the first Xbox was sold to Japanese fans. And they say here, within Xbox Wire Japan, you're going to get first-hand news and articles in Japanese about console services and content, including Xbox Series X, Xbox Game Pass for console and PC, Xbox Cloud Gaming, everything related to the Xbox Game Studios and partner studios. We know that Japan is a big part of Xbox, or they want to make it a big part of Xbox going forward. They really want to improve on it. And we know that their sales are doing significantly better than the Xbox One already surpassing the total amount of Xbox Ones that were sold in Japan last generation. So they want to continue to grow that market. And one of the big things with growing that market is going to be the cloud gaming and the mobile side of things. And they mention here, Japan remains one of the most important and fastest growing markets for Xbox worldwide. With the recent launch of the Xbox Series XS and Xbox Cloud Gaming with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate in Japan, it's important we establish a platform that allows for all our Japanese fans to access the latest Xbox news. And they've already been doing things as well that you can tell that they're focusing more on Japan, with games like Starfield and Redfall that are going to be completely localized. And on top of that, they say here they're celebrating the ever-growing partnerships with Japanese and independent developers. So if we go here to, I guess, the homepage of Xbox Wire Japan, there's definitely a difference in the articles and the things that they're focusing on with their main articles here. I mean, there isn't that much information or that many different types of things, as you can see here. Tokyo Game Show 2021 is there twice, but focusing on the cloud gaming, Xbox Game Pass, the big acquisition, celebrating the 20 years of Xbox, and then launching Xbox Wire Japan. And I'm sure that they will continue to add a bunch of content on here all the time. But I wonder if we're going to see big announcements for Japanese games first on Xbox Wire Japan here, ahead of, let's say, the other Xbox Wire stuff, and then it will make its way on to the main Xbox Wire news website here. And we can see the difference here in the different articles that they're displaying here compared to the Japanese one. And finally, to end things off here, I wanted to talk about Tunic. Now, as we know, Tunic is a highly anticipated indie game, and it looks like it's going to be amazing. It's like a Zelda style of game, probably one of my most anticipated games to be coming out this year. I can't wait for it. As soon as they showed it off, it just looked like it's right up my alley, and I played the demo as well, and it was a ton of fun. So I think this game is going to be a pretty big indie hit. But they announced it's coming to Xbox, and it's going to be exclusive to Xbox for the console, and they did not say that this was coming to Xbox Game Pass. Now, a lot of people were speculating if it was or not, and it looks like we finally got, I guess you could say, official confirmation that it isn't coming to Xbox Game Pass, even though they never said it was. But this kind of puts it all to rest here. So this person asks at Tunic Game, are you going to be on Xbox Game Pass? And they respond, Tunic is not an Xbox Game Pass title. And what's interesting is, I guess this didn't really get picked up until just recently, because this was actually asked back on January 6, 2022, meaning we've known about this for a month, but nobody really picked up on the question actually being answered that it isn't going to be an Xbox Game Pass title, which isn't a big deal. I mean, I think this game is going to be well worth the money. It's probably not going to be a full price game, and it looks absolutely amazing. So I will most likely be picking this up when it comes out on March 16th. Really looking forward to it, but if you're expecting it to be released on Xbox Game Pass on day one, it looks like it's not going to be. That's it for me, guys. Let me know what you think about all of these things. Specifically, what are you expecting from Halo in upcoming seasons? Xbox Wire in Japan, are you surprised that that wasn't there previously, and what do you expect to come out of this website? And Tunic, are you disappointed that it won't be on Game Pass? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you like what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.
We'll be right back.